Give Harley a couple seconds. Hang on. Yes, calm down. Okay.
So back to, do you actually like the podcast? Do you like listening to it, the stories, the adventures?
Yeah, I really enjoy the podcast. I started because Sasha told me about it. And I've never worked with any of you before, but a lot of the stories are still relatable because I do still encounter a lot of the same individuals that are there.
Yep.
But it's interesting. Like, some things never change, like the black mold growing behind the walls, pastry chef being an asshole.
True.
Nice.
Or the lifers, of course, that
Exactly.
still there.
But the lifers have put in, you give a little respect to the lifers just because they've been doing it since before my fucking time there, but what's great here at the fucking Tip Rail podcast is good goddamn it, if you can't tell, it's another fucking Tuesday night here in his house. On my left I have the one and only motherfucker named Dave.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fucking excited, man. I'm ecstatic. Over here on my right, we have the one and only motherfucking Big John.
Whoop whoop.
Oh, yeah. And across the table from me, once again, introducing another fucking Topless Tuesday, actually. It's great. We all have our fucking shirts off. It's fantastic.
It's warming up.
Nipples ablazing. Yeah, it's spicy
It's
nipples out there.
Not as chilly.
So, but sitting across the table from me, we have another special guest with us, taking her top off and showing those fantastic tatas. It is the gorgeous Alice.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you very much, Alice. Welcome to the Tip Rail podcast. Fuck
Welcome
yeah.
aboard.
So, holy fucking shit, guys. What do you think about that? We got somebody we don't know.
Yeah.
Sitting
Never
with
met
us.
her before. Don't
New
know.
talent.
Yeah.
There's always
Never before seen.
Yeah, there's always new entertainment always coming across the stage at the both the lumberyard and here at the Tip Rail. So, without further ado, I think we want to get into it with Alice here. Can you tell us a little bit about your introduction into the strip club industry?
Yeah, so I think I am the first dancer on here, and my first club wasn't the Lumberyard.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, shit. All right. Yeah.
Nice.
Perfect. Yeah.
And I actually didn't start off as a dancer either.
Oh, door girl?
No, I was a bartender.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. I was a bartender and shot girl at a topless club up in Waterloo,
Okay.
known as Flirt's Gentlemen's Club.
Oh, interesting.
And
Okay.
I started when I was 19.
You can be a bartender at 19 in Iowa here?
In Iowa, yeah, you can.
What the fuck? Really?
Not a good one, but
You can be one. Yes.
You got to start somewhere. There's entry level jobs everywhere. You know, you got to start, and then you get that feel for pouring the drinks together. I started in John's Kitchen, actually, is where I started being an alchemist with the alcohol. So, yeah.
No, I worked at Bennigan's downtown Rock Island at 20.
What? Who?
Yeah.
Oh,
as a bartender.
Wow. As a bartender?
Yeah, as a bartender.
Fuck.
Yeah.
What was I doing? Drugs.
Yep.
Drugs. Anyway.
yeah, so I actually I had come home from a job stint, and I had needed a job, and I had some friends who were dancers there, and they said, "Hey, we're hiring a shot girl." And I said, "I can carry around trays of drinks all day and night. Sign me up." And
Right.
so I applied, and my boss, his name, I guess I just won't say his name.
Yeah,
we can bleep whatever.
Yeah.
We can bleep it.
We can get them.
you can say whatever the hell you
Or
want.
if you want to make up a nickname for him,
Well,
because
his
we don't
nick-
know it.
Yeah,
so.
his nickname was
There you go.
and he was actually dating one of my really close friends from high school at the time.
Hmm.
And so that kind of gave you some job security.
Oh, okay.
And I had asked, being 19 and working with alcohol, I'd asked, like, "Oh, what's the sitch there?" And he's like, "Oh, I don't care. Get as drunk as you want as long as you sell the shots."
There you go.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice,
hell
nice.
yeah.
I didn't even know Waterloo had a gentleman's club.
Yeah, they had
Yeah.
3 actually.
wow.
Damn.
I think now they're down to 2.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it was Flirts and Risque were both owned by the same person, and then there's Fantasy Theater, which is out by the Armory in Waterloo.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's the only nude one, which
Oh,
I've
okay.
never been in there. But
I
yeah,
was gonna say the only time I have ever experienced any part of Waterloo was when I had to leave the show to go pick up my kid from Waterloo.
Oh, nice.
So like I have no clue about that city.
I've
at
gone there
all.
a few times for
Okay,
work. but-
okay. Yeah, I've never really visited, so I didn't really know
Hmm.
anything about the location. But that's kind of cool that you
Yeah.
made that transition into it. So how did that end up going? Like,
So I started there in 2019 at the end of the year bartending, and I worked there up until COVID when everything closed down.
Okay.
And then in 2021 is when I moved to Des Moines, and then that's when I made the transition to dancing.
Okay.
Because there's not really any topless clubs in Des Moines, or just like bar clubs. And
Outer
also-
Limits, what are you talking about? The greatest club in Des
Yeah,
Moines.
yeah, we'll get there.
There's a history. We'll
Nice,
follow.
nice.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
that was actually the first club I worked at in Des Moines.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like,
and then I eventually made my way to the lumberyard.
Okay. Perfect. All right. How long did you do at Outer Limits?
I worked there for 2 months.
Okay. Was it as bad? I've never been there as a customer or anything like that.
it's as bad as you think it is.
Well,
It
I know
is.
we've described how bad it is, and I
that's
have
true.
believed you guys. But is it, as a person who worked there, is it as bad as we think it is?
So for me, it was always like an intermission place. I never planned on staying
right,
there.
yeah.
That's a good idea.
My very first night, I remember I had gone into the dressing room, and I don't know if anyone's ever described it to you. It's a closet that they've converted with like a table, and they just cram all the girls back there. And I'd gone back there because I was just gonna like spray some perfume and head back on the floor.
Yeah.
And there was a girl in one of those cushioned chairs, and she was shooting up in the back.
Nice.
And was just like nodding off, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I just turned around and went back on the floor, and I told one of the house girls there, I was like, "Is this something I should be concerned about? Like, is she okay?" And she's like, "Oh, she's fine. She does that all the time."
Oh shit.
How many
Okay,
girls
so-
would they have like on a Friday or Saturday night? Like,
So it was a little different there, whereas you didn't pay a house fee and tip out. You paid a flat rate when you got in,
Mhm.
and that was your house fee and tip out for the bouncers. I'm gonna air
Okay,
quote that
alright.
because I would not call them that.
Well,
Um,
security team. You know,
yeah,
maybe,
yeah. The guys who
Delta
checked,
6.
yeah, the guys who checked the IDs at the door.
Yeah.
And I believe on weekdays it was $20, and then on weekends it was $35.
okay.
And then there would be like anywhere between 6 and 20 girls, which is a lot for that little place.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that big.
I know during like the week they do what is it? I don't call it pool contest, but they have like how much people going there to shoot pool.
Yeah.
Do you guys make money off of that, or is it just strictly like, okay, they're playing pool, don't talk to those people?
There were some girls who did. I think it's the same at Beach Girls. They would bet games on pool, and they're like, "Oh, well, if I win, you have to buy a dance from me, or you have to give me $50." I was really bad at pool, so that wasn't my game.
That wasn't your angle into
yeah,
the. Okay. All right,
yeah. And then they have like the smoke patio, obviously, where a lot of girls would hang out, or they would just take photos and stuff. But yeah, I wasn't really there for the pool stuff. I mean,
Okay.
people would come in there and they'd shoot pool, and they would use that as an excuse to not want to go do dances. They'd be like, "I'm in the middle of something," but other than that, I wasn't really privy to the pool tables.
Gotcha.
All right. Shit, man.
And then wasn't there like a 2-drink minimum or something for the customer? Or I remember that when I went there.
When I was working there,
They just got
no.
you, John.
But I do distinctly remember this one guy. It's always the guys that drink Rumple Mints. He was saying,
Rumpleman says some shit. I give you that. Yeah, absolutely.
he kept ordering shots, and he's like, "I just don't want to have to keep asking for shots." And so he asked the bartender, and I distinctly remember her because she had the bow tattoos on the back of her legs, and I don't remember her name. And she just gave him the whole bottle, but in like a tall glass.
Nice.
Of Rumple Mints.
I've done that. I got a Crown and Coke, and I complained about how little Crown there was in it,
Yeah.
and so she took it, poured it out, and basically filled up the entire pint glass with Crown, and then just like, a Pepsi on top of it.
She's like, "We aim to please."
Yes, she got a nice tip.
Just give me the tall glass of
Yes.
the fucking Crown. I don't even need
Yeah.
the splash. Just fucking straight.
I'll take 8 ounces
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
straight.
Shit.
Yeah.
So, so okay, so you're not done with the club. You still currently work?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
cool,
actually
yeah.
working tonight after we are done
Oh.
recording. I'm
That's
going
perfect.
to work because some people, Sasha, are very persuasive in getting
Mother
me to
fucker.
come work with them. So
Awesome. Okay, cool.
It's always good to have
That's
a buddy. The buddy system working.
Buddy
Heavyweights,
systems.
it'll work
It,
in this too.
it definitely does. Like, teaming up, sometimes can be the same thing. Like you see two dudes sitting there, like low, and like a pair.
Split 'em
co-
apart.
Let's go.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I know.
exactly.
Exactly.
So you left there COVID. Did you take a break or did you just jump straight over to the lumberyard?
Yeah, and then we can bleep this out, obviously. But this was at the point, especially because of COVID, the lumberyard had established kind of an online application. So you just say, wait, this is my name, and here's my booty hole. Can I work here?
You had to send in booty hole pictures?
Ooh,
Not-
nude pics.
nudes,
Nude
Nudes or semi-nudes. I have seen a few of like the applications that get sent in. Just
Oh.
You're not supposed to know that stuff, but yeah.
Upper management's leaking.
I get nosy. And sometimes I'm like, whoa, like it'll be girls like fisting themselves, and I'm like, we didn't need to see that.
We can't do that on this stage. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
thank you.
no
You didn't-
penetration.
Yeah.
You didn't want to see the giant tentacle dildo?
Yeah. I'm
No,
like,
that's what our group chat's for, Dave.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I'm like, your bad dragon stayed
Yes.
in the closet for this.
Yes, bad dragon.
But no, I just had a few like bikini pictures and I submitted them. And then a
Nice.
few weeks later, I got a call from one of the door girls, and she's like, "Yeah, if you could come in on a Tuesday and fill out your paperwork." And then I haven't really looked back from there. I've hopped around at a few other clubs just to try them out, but
Okay.
I've maintained house girl status at the yard.
Okay.
Any other
Yeah.
like local clubs or regional or
I worked for
coast to coast?
I worked for one night at Dangerous Curves up in Ames.
Okay.
That was about as awful as you probably think it is.
Nice.
I'm sure it's a lot of like college kids.
We should
and
do a
stuff,
tour,
right?
man.
Like a strip club
Yeah.
tour.
Review each one. Leave a Google review.
I mean, you know,
Yelp.
I mean, Ames is what, fucking 30 minutes?
We should just create our
Yeah.
own
I really-
review
I-
center like IMDb, but it's just for titties.
I would absolutely rather go wreak havoc at a different club outside of the Des Moines metro area. I don't need to go back to there. So
Yeah, the
But-
one up in Ames, it's no nudity at all. So I don't even I wouldn't call it a strip club. It's a bikini bar.
Okay.
Like
Miss
you-
Kitty's, right?
I mean, that's more
I
like a
did-
dance. Like, you know,
I thought
moms
they
want to
did,
get
like-
dude,
fucked.
Miss
they
Kitty's
go
has
there.
the maidens, right? That
Do
thing.
they?
Yeah, the little people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
the 2 foot 10 inch people. Yeah, let's go. Well
I
done.
would-
But no, I thought they were like a bikini bar.
I don't know
Like,
what the
yeah.
fuck Miss Kitty's is. I don't go out.
No, it's I've been there twice. It's like a dance club.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
it's a dance hall. Like there's a big open like floor, and they do like line dancing and it's
Oh,
country
okay.
themed with some pop. They have 2 stripper poles.
Are they stripper poles or are they just poles that
Like
are
to
there
support
for?
the ceiling.
No,
Are they support
they are
beams?
stripper poles because my ex-wife, I went there for her birthday party, and then with her parents, and then she just started to do fucking pole tricks.
Oh,
She wanted to
let me
show
know.
off.
In front of
And
the
then her-
in-laws.
And yeah, and
Nice.
her not mine. Her
No,
her
yeah,
parents,
yeah,
my
your
in-laws.
Yeah.
And I just remember Dad just looking at me, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I don't fucking know what to
You're
tell
like,
you right
you're like,
now.
that's
It's
mine.
just, you know, that's
It
your
got
kid.
passed
You
Put
on.
a ring on it. It's
It
mine.
came out of your dick. Sorry, don't blame me. I didn't make
It was your parenting that fucked it up.
You weren't there as a father because you were a farmer working hard, so she had daddy issues, and then unfortunately now I'm fucking daddy,
Wah, wah, wah,
and
wah.
I didn't ask for that job. She didn't want to put gas in her car.
So when you started at Outer Limits or in Waterloo, I forgot the name that you said in Waterloo. Do you got any like first night like horror stories, like besides the girl shooting up heroin?
Oh
Like-
yeah. So my first night as a shot girl, I very quickly developed carpal tunnel from carrying a tray of like 120 shots in my wrist every weekend. But I was very awestruck. I'd never been in that kind of environment, and I also had never seen some of my best friends dance around in their birthday suit, or I guess with their tops off, because they had
Close
bottoms
enough.
on.
But then, I mean, like, it's a thong,
I'd
right?
never seen
So,
them,
yeah.
like entrance men into their boobs before. So I was just like,
Hmm.
oh my god, this is like, you guys can do this. How do you teach me? And so, and I also, my first few weeks working, I was really strict about like, I'm not gonna drink at work.
That's the best way to do
That's
it.
how everybody
Yeah,
starts
yeah,
off.
Yeah. Well, and I was also 19, so I was living by myself, and I wanted to keep a level head to where if someone was following me, I wanted to be able to track that.
Smart.
And also just I didn't want to like get pulled over and get a DUI.
Also smart.
And then
Also smart, yeah.
I very quickly realized I made more money selling my $1 tray shots if I also took the shot.
Oh, yeah. The guys
Yep.
will always buy more if they're
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
the girl drunk too.
Mhm.
Versus
Trick
like,
is to find a person to make you some like Jello shots that's not shots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or like
shots of
water.
water.
Yeah,
And then
water
know
shots.
which ones to sell.
Yeah, well, I made the shots, so.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So you
Like,
fucked yourself.
Well, I mean, I would do 4 a night that weren't water shots, and then
Oh, okay.
after midnight, I was like, okay, water shot.
Or the
time.
good old chaser. You just do the shot
Yeah.
and chase the beer, but you're actually spitting it
Just
back in the
throwing it
bottle.
over your shoulder.
yeah. I did that a few times because after a certain point, when I sold the shots, I had to start selling bombs. And
Okay.
Jaeger bombs were not my thing. So
No.
I'd be like, this is so good. And then later I'd have to get like the carpet cleaner and clean up where I just poured grenadine on the carpet.
Nice.
But no, that first night I was super awestruck. And then I think like the horror story would be from my first night working at the lumberyard.
Okay.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Great.
Of course.
It's
Christen
traumatized
this
us all.
bitch.
You know?
Trauma time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I showed up, I filled out my paperwork.
Mm.
And this actually comes into play on how I got the name Alice too. But anyways, I filled out my paperwork and I go up, I set my bags down. I'm looking around. This place is huge. No one gave me a tour. No one told me anything. And I'm just sitting there and the pastry chef comes back and he goes, "Hey, I need to talk to you." I'm like, "Oh, great. I'm already in trouble. Like, I just got here."
That demeanor that he presents, fucking like without even knowing who you are or anything like that, it's just like, why, dude? Like,
Yeah.
you didn't need to do
You
that.
don't need to be a hard ass to the
Go on.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I just, yes, go
Trying
on.
to
Yeah.
assert
So-
dominance.
I was like 21 years old. I was like still bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I hadn't showed anyone my vagina yet. And I was like, okay. So I go up to him and he's like, "What's your name?" I was like, my real name or my stage name? And he looks me dead in my little blue eyes and he goes, "Why the fuck would I want to know your real name?"
Really?
Oh, fuck.
I was like, "Got it. It's Alice."
Douchebag.
Wow.
And he had said, "I run a clean fucking club, no sucking, no fucking."
You don't run shit.
Lying ass motherfucker.
He doesn't
Yeah,
run
which-
shit.
Which
He's never there. Fuck that guy.
For a very long time, I ran on the basis in this kind of naivety, which is my own fault, that that's exactly how it was. Like, this was a clean club. Nobody does drugs.
Oh.
Everyone is like little angels. And obviously
Definitely
that's
bright-eyed,
not,
bushy-tailed.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Oh my
obviously not how it
God.
is. And he says, "What music are you gonna dance to?" I gave him some songs, and he said, "Okay, first song your top has to be off. By the second song, your bottoms better be fucking off. I know you've worked at topless clubs before, but if you are not butt ass naked by that second song, I will fire you." So he plays my songs, and I remember my first stage set was to Queensryche, and I'm
Good song,
up
good
there, and the I forget what you guys call him, the sounder was the he was the
Oh.
only person at my stage set, and I remember I was so scared. I was just wearing a bikini from like Target. And within the first 15 seconds, I whipped the strings off that bitch and I flung it to the side and I'm just holding onto the pole naked. And I'm like, I'm not getting fired today. And I didn't walk around it. I didn't shake anything. I just stood there and was like, "Yeah, you like this?" And I think I made $3. And then the sounder did take me down and we did some dances.
Did did he start off normal? Was it okay, or did he make you watch the video the first time? Like, I just have to know.
Yeah. So I knew him because he was a patron at the club at the bar
Oh, okay.
that I
okay.
had worked at. So I already knew that he did the sounding. And I'd already seen the videos.
Oh, shit.
So he never started off normal.
Okay.
I'm pretty
all right.
sure he showed me a video like the second night I was bartending.
Mm. Just as a bartender, like, hey,
Yeah.
look at this.
Like,
Just
hey.
stick it in your face.
Yeah,
like,
I have
"Whoa."
I have
Did
like
he
a
at least
tray.
ask permission or something first, or was this like?
If permission is, "Do you want to see something?" Then yes.
That's a very soft ask.
Very
Yeah,
soft.
yeah.
Very soft.
Damn.
More soft than I've ever been.
Yeah, I was like, this is
Fuck.
kind of dubious consent, but okay.
Ouch. Well, sorry you had to see that, but I've also had to see it in the fucking private dance videos as a watch and recall. So I mean,
You're like zooming in the box. You're like,
No, we didn't have those.
I think that's
More.
a dick
No, we
and
can
a
make
nail.
it when I worked down there. We could make it full screen, but we couldn't like zoom or anything like that. I don't know if the camera system down there even works today. But
oh
I
yeah,
mean,
it works, and
it
I
does
think
it?
they
Okay.
can zoom. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. first customer is the fucking sounder. Ouch.
Yeah.
Good
yeah. We're starting off
You
strong.
almost make him sound like a hero,
Oh.
but he's not.
Yeah. But I never got fired. So
Okay.
still work there.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
There you go.
I never got fired either. I quit on my own volition.
Yeah, I've
I
heard
got
that
fired.
story actually.
Me too.
Yeah, Topher probably told you, I'm assuming.
Who?
Or Topher.
No.
Oh.
No.
Yes.
Adam's eyes lit up like shit.
No,
Yeah,
they went
yeah.
to a far and distant place, like
Yeah.
where I'd like disassociated.
Trauma.
No. Yes, she thankfully fucking pushed the play buttons for
Yeah.
me while I couldn't really function. I was down at that very
Aw.
very low point in the club. But yeah, no, that's thankful. Thank you. I'll bleep that out too, but love you. Thank you.
It's so funny because the way it's described is she's like frantically typing and pushing all these things, and she goes, "Speak, talk in the microphone, announce this person," and you're just like, and then at the very end you go, "And I fucking quit."
Oh, you did it over the mic? Like a fuck you, you're cool, I'm out.
Oh shit! This is the story I didn't,
I didn't
hear.
know that.
I was blackout drunk, guys. I don't have any fucking real recollection of that portion, but I do remember walking down to the pastry chef and telling him I'm done and I'm not going to do this anymore, and then proceeded to lay on the concrete outside the double doors for a couple hours, probably. I don't know. Chris could probably tell that story better, but yeah, that's
Awesome.
fuck yeah, I'm a rock star too, baby. It's just, you know, like I said, I've said it so many times, it's like redundant at this point, but like I got so fucked up in that place. But, you know, I always tried to, you know, be as cool to the dancers as I possibly could for what it was worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so everybody kind of had my back, and I felt like at some points, and that was really cool. So not working there now, I'm reduced to my chums in the fucking podcast zone here, which, you know, has been working out really well. So
Make me feel
Enough
real
about you,
special.
what?
Hmm?
Huh?
Who?
Dude, you
Where?
gotta hear. Well, never mind. I wrote a new song fucking yesterday.
Oh.
So, but anyway.
Anything you want to bring up? A special memory?
Special memories?
Something special.
Oh goodness. I mean, that whole place is so special.
Absolutely.
I guess was going to be a topless, or no, you weren't top. You were just a shot girl.
So I actually had a pretty smooth progression. I went from shot girl to topless dancer to naked dancer.
Okay,
That's interesting, Bill.
was that a
Yeah.
the strip club industry was your first thought, or were you trying to do something else besides what we already have to bleep out?
So I'm a busy bee. I like to keep myself really busy. I've always had like a full-time people job on top of the side job.
Oh, geez.
And
I
then-
work with people.
Yeah, I work with people who don't get naked.
That's
for
awesome.
money.
Okay, so the non-naked job. Okay.
The
Yeah.
normies.
All right, yeah.
And then also I go to school full time. So I've
Oh,
always
Fuck, man, you got a busy schedule.
yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay.
But similarly to Sasha, I also come from a family of dancers.
nice.
Um,
Okay.
And I forget how it even got brought up in my family.
okay.
I think it was my mom was talking about how drugs are bad and don't do them.
Yeah.
And I said,
as a good parent should tell you.
yeah. And I was like, how did you even do them? Well, and she was, I started doing coke when I was a stripper. And I was like,
I know
back
that
up, back up.
Yeah. Hit you with the heavy one right there. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But she always talked about how when she was a dancer, she felt very empowered by the community around her, and the other women that she worked with. So when I started working in the club, she was very supportive of that, obviously.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, you're cute. Go make your money. Shake that booty hole, girl.
So I guess your family does know. That was my next question.
Yeah.
We're just moving along.
Yeah.
Check that one. My whole family knows, all the way, like my grandma, my aunts, uncles.
And they're all cool with it.
Parents.
They don't talk shit. Nothing?
Yeah. So my grandma, she was a bartender at a strip club, and she's like,
okay.
oh, I remember this one girl. I mean, obviously back in her day, they probably weren't just dancing, but they think it's cool, and they like to hear my stories from work. So
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
My
then
dad
that's-
gets uncomfortable.
Yeah,
he'll leave the room, but that's fine.
Yeah. No, my neighbor, he won't listen to the podcast because he's got a young daughter. He doesn't want to hear stories like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think one thing that the pastry chef that stuck with me, he goes, yeah, girls turn 18 every day. I'm like, that's such an icky thing to say.
Right?
I know it's
He
true.
said that as long as I've known that man. That was his like key phrase.
Yeah.
Anytime a girl fucks up, that was his go-to. Like,
Yeah. I can just hire somebody else. I can just
Yeah.
get it. I can replace
you know how many girls come in here every night looking for a job that I turn down?
Yeah.
Not that many.
No,
No,
it's
not at all. No.
No. Well, I mean, there's a lot of girls that do come in, but a lot of girls that aren't hireable. If that makes more sense.
Yeah, it does. I've had a lot of, can I work here? I'm like,
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
No. Yeah, you should not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also I feel like compared to probably when you guys worked there, there's a lot more diversity in the girls that do get hired. Like there's, I don't know, he's loosening the reins, if you will.
I mean, at some point you kind of have to. If the
Yeah.
club is going into the shitter, girls don't want to go to a place that's crappy, so you won't get the good smoking hot girls. You'll just get the average girls, or like girls that shouldn't be there.
It's definitely fuck the ecosystem for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, would you rather have 20 girls and 5 of them might not, fit the exact standard, or have 15 that all?
Well, it's the 5 that aren't.
That's what I'm saying. Would you rather have a fucking Friday night with fucking 15 or 20?
But it's the 5 that are going to stick out in the customer's head more than the 15 that.
I guess I don't look at it from the customer perspective. I look at
Yeah.
it from the business part of it, of the fucking actual, like, like the.
Well, no,
the-
business wise,
yeah.
you'd want to have more girls there because you got more house fees, more girls going down to private dance. But those 5 girls probably aren't going to be going down to private dance.
Maybe they
as
have a
often.
really fantastic personality, John.
I'm not saying that they don't, but
Well, and the way it's been phrased to me is, I hire these mediocre girls to make you guys look hotter. And I was like, that also doesn't make me feel good. Like, one, I don't need to put other people down to feel good about myself and my job.
Right.
And also, if you feel that way about her, that just means you're probably going to be harsher on her when it comes time to pick her music or critique her dances or her tip out or whatever. And that's not fair to her because she's working the same as I am.
Yeah.
And I know there's a number of girls that I thought were incredibly attractive that John probably wouldn't. I'm sure there's girls that John finds attractive that I wouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So
everybody's a little different.
Everyone's
Right,
got
right.
taste, everyone's got different
But,
fucking tastes.
variety is the spice of
Yeah,
life. But again, when you're trying to fulfill a customer need and all that stuff, I just think that having more quantity sometimes is and variety and shit like that
can be helpful for a spectrum to cover all your bases and all your customers. And
what if some nerdy fuck like me wanted to talk to a girl and just like rub her boobs a little bit? I'm like you know what I mean? Like it's yeah.
You can do
There
that
are
with
people who
any
get-
girl.
Yeah,
Not
some
some
of
of
them. Yeah, some of them may only have 1 or 3, but there are guys who get anxiety that don't want top tier. They don't want the mega bombshells or whatever you want to.
I don't like
because
fake
it's too
boobs.
nervous, right?
You know what I mean? I like real ones.
Yeah, so different tastes. That's what it comes down to.
And also, this is something that my friends and I have kind of talked about, is we've noticed that some people just like them dirty. Like,
Oh, for sure.
grimy. Because there will be
Looks
girls.
like they're on heroin.
Yeah,
fucking
and I'm like,
track bleeding.
How is
fucking
she? How
dance.
is she sold 4 VIPs tonight, and I can't get anyone to do a fucking dance?
She promises she'll touch their
She
dick.
looks like she
Yeah.
will do
Dude,
some real kinky shit.
Yeah, and that's just the that's the
Sometimes people are they're really stuck in a situation where they need to get some
quick and dirty fucking action, man. I've
release.
said it myself. You go through a day shift at that fucking bar that one that John showed us a couple weeks ago. You know, like you go there during the day shift. I'm looking for something quick and dirty in about 35 minutes before I got to be home to the wife and shit. You know, so
We did have that at the lumberyard. We had the guys that came in for
free day shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they still do the free day shift?
No, actually, I was gonna mention that because you talked about how taking more money from the girls, and this was on the episode you guys aired yesterday with Sureface,
Thank you.
which loved it, by the way. So now they don't open until 7 p.m.
Okay.
and house fees go up every half hour
Okay.
instead of every hour.
See, it was just one. It was two prices. You had the day shift price, and then you had the night shift price.
Yeah.
Back when I ran the place.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now if you get there, so if you are in the parking lot before 7 p.m., you don't have to pay a house fee. But if you're there between 7:30, 5, and then 7:30 to 8, 10, and then if you're rolling in at midnight, you're going to be paying upwards of $50 to
okay.
work.
I mean, it makes sense because you have the girls that didn't want to show up till midnight, or they wouldn't even they'd go down and do their stage set and turn around and go right back upstairs.
Sometimes it's easier when you have a drunk crowd and they want to have less work, less leg time, or less competition.
Yeah.
You know, it's strategic.
It's a wild fucking world. They changed things significantly, and I got to watch it progress from the style of severe cut day shift, severe cut night shift, not the incrementals. There was basically a rule set. You know, you get here at this point in time, your fee was this and this, and if you were late, then you got charged a late fee. Then they started, you know, like after John got out, they started doing that incremental, you know, like time thing, and it's confusing in my opinion, but at the same time, I don't know, it worked.
Hey, whatever works for them.
Yeah,
you know?
we'd get girls in, you know, at open sometimes.
I mean, we had girls. I mean, I guess they called it a late fee. I'm pretty sure. So the girl would show up, and you'd have the house fee, and then they'd charge them extra on top of it because they didn't show up till midnight. But we didn't have the every 30 minutes. It fucking changed.
No,
you know, but
it's like I said, they implemented that system, and apparently they like it. I don't know. I thought it gave the girls more freedom to be able to come in whenever they were available, and you know, like just cost more, you know. So I was like, all right, I guess, but
no, I mean it's nice for like single moms and shit. They gotta put the kids to bed before they fucking go to the club. They can fucking.
Well, they gotta come. You know, people got to come and record a podcast before they go work for the night, you know?
That's true.
Hard workers.
So the longer we keep you here, the more it costs you to go to work, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no skin off my back. I'll make it. It's fine.
Okay, all right.
I don't think you'll have any problems.
No. I will say one like subtle flex is I've never left the club negative.
Well, there you go.
Owing
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
club money.
That's good.
I have left with only $10, but I've never left negative.
Well, what's the
Good deal.
okay? So like the 10 is the lowest.
Yeah.
What is the most that you made in a time? If you feel comfortable talking about that.
I think the most I made in a night was like between 1,800 and 2,000.
Okay, dope. What kind of
Nice.
what led to that? Was it a bunch of VIPs or?
Yeah, it was a bunch of VIPs with the same guy. So he had been in there. We had been open for about an hour, and he was just kind of sitting at stage, and no one was talking to him.
Mhm.
He was like very hippie looking in appearance. He was kind of older, like long white hair, just vibing. He was having a good time. And I remember I went up to him. I was like, "Hi, has anyone kind of talked to you or given you the rundown?" And he's like, "No, like everyone's kind of ignoring me." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Here's kind of what we have going on tonight. Does any of that sound interesting to you?" And he's like, "Oh, yes, absolutely." And then he didn't want to do hour increments of VIP, which was fine with me because he would do 30 minute, 30 minute, 30 minute, and I get more from that anyway.
Right. Yeah.
And he just wanted to hang out and talk, and I eventually brought my friend down, and he paid for both of us, and we
dope.
would just like
Shit.
jump around on the
You
couches.
happen to be right place, right time.
See,
Met a
ladies?
baller, and he didn't get attention from anybody else. That's fucking sweet as shit. Like you got to scoop that up. That's dope.
Yeah, and he's come back since then a few times.
Oh fuck! Made a regular out of him. There you go.
Yeah, which I mean, he doesn't come in super regularly, and I don't have a means to contact him.
Right. Yeah. No.
I just like whenever he blows my way, like, I know it's gonna be a good night.
Nice.
But yeah, he was a good guy, and I just think it's interesting. It's always the ones who don't look like they have money.
Oh yeah,
too.
for sure.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
definitely.
Right.
I mean, shit. When Jeff Bezos first started Amazon, the guy drove a fucking Honda Civic and looked like a complete nerd. Now he's got a fucking $500 million yacht that he fucking takes a helicopter to.
He has to
You
take
know,
bridges.
like-
Motherfucker has to have bridges taken apart for this yacht to fucking
Yeah,
travel.
right.
I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, that boat's too big. Stop it.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to fucking stop him. I love Luigi. Anyway,
So, you had that really small dressing room out at Outer Limits with the girl shooting up. Any crazy dressing room stories from the lumberyard? Like,
Not particularly. I actually was talking in my girls group chat from work about how much anxiety I get about being in the dressing room and staying up there for too long. Someone had told me kind of when I first started and saying, you're not going to make any money in the dressing room.
no, you won't.
And I was like, yeah, I mean, you're right. And sometimes I do need to take a little reprieve from the floor because it can be a lot. But I'll sit up there. And sometimes the dressing room is worse than being on the floor because it's, 30 to 50 girls. They're all talking about their man and their body and their kids and their baby daddies and what this bitch did to them. And it is derogatory. And
Nice.
it can be even more overwhelming than, drunk customer bullshit.
Okay.
And so sometimes I can't handle being up there, like on a weekend. On a
yeah.
weekday, most of the time it's fine because I can just yap with my friends. But yeah, on the weekend when it's all these girls and they're, especially like body talk in the dressing room, they're like, oh, I want to get my boobs done, or I just want to, I'm like, oh my gosh, stop talking about that. Like so many, the reason we all look different is because that's what the customers want, is they want that diversity. And so, I don't know, just hearing everyone compare themselves is a toxic space, and I don't like inhabiting it if I can.
Comparison
You're
is
not
the
wrong.
thief of joy.
the dressing room will eat you alive. That's for sure. It is a very toxic space. You're not wrong. But
Dude, I used to love just when I first started at Duke's,
Hmm.
just going up there and sitting there because the washing machine was downstairs and the downstairs dressing room. And so you had to sit there and fold the fucking towels and just sitting there listening to the girls fucking just bitch and complain and fucking gossip about other girls.
I heard
that
some
were
wild shit in
upstairs.
there.
You know,
like you got we do folding
Yeah.
towels and shit. You
Yeah.
know, like when I first started, like I heard some wild shit in the dressing room, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like I would never say that out loud.
Right?
But hey, here it is. So
Yeah, I'm very much a believer of there are inside thoughts that should stay inside.
Yep.
And sometimes there are not people in that same space that share those feelings.
No.
And they just let their freak flag fly, which, if there's a place to do it, it's the lumberyard. So
I mean, you're not wrong. That is the place to do it. It does collect a large gathering of fucking freaks. That's for sure. God
The
damn.
original P. Diddy.
I mean, like you have never met a dancer that I know very well, and you guys do, but she probably doesn't. And it's just like, if you ever met that one, you would. Yeah, it's the same. It's fuck.
I don't know. Some have come back. I
You've
might have.
you've never met a girl named correct? Would wear like a
No.
Matrix fucking trench coat.
Nope. One doesn't ring a bell.
Like basically this was a heavily Wiccan or witch type person, and she was very short and small and tiny and would dress in like very pagan and
She was
pagan
nice.
gothic.
Okay.
Very nice.
But
Very
like
nice.
super sweetheart.
Yeah.
Bless
Very
the
nice.
fucking shit out of
Yeah,
her.
friends on Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's an author and an actress and a
Yep.
fucking
Yep.
like she traveled with like roadies and fucking these like musicians and shit. Amazing fucking person. But when she came to dance, she just like did her thing. Just was fucking unique and exotic. And it was just fucking a wild ass person. But
Very
she
sweet.
definitely
Very sweet.
definitely spoke her mind about everything. So
Yeah.
good goddamn. I love. I want to fucking ask her to see if she'll
If she
come
still
to.
lived locally, yeah.
Hey,
It
will
would
you
be nice.
come on to Topless Tuesday? Actually,
Maybe we can have
I
her
wonder-
meet in Vegas.
That's
Because doesn't she
fucking-
live in California now?
I don't know
again?
where the fuck she
Yeah,
lives at,
I
bro.
thought she lived in Cali, but
I don't know.
Have her meet us in Vegas.
Enough about her. I'm so sorry. I hijacked the conversation.
Oh,
Please.
well, if we had time in Vegas, but yeah,
we'll
find
have time.
No, we won't have any
We'll
fucking
have
time.
we'll be busy.
This fucking it's nonstop.
We're taking the show on the road.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
shit! Announcing
Oh,
it live
shit.
right on the
My
fucking
bad.
podcast. Oh boy. Hell yeah. Well, fucking.
There's content. We must travel.
Oops.
No, I don't give a fuck. I mean, like, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. I'm just, be prepared for that. Future episodes. Well,
Yeah.
where were we? Again, like I said, I went off on Velvet.
Dancing room gossip or
Oh yeah,
dressing room gossip.
Yeah.
Okay, so you stay out of there.
Were you
All
there
right,
for
yeah.
the flying microwave?
No,
Oh.
gosh. I mean, I think there's overlap in the time in which I worked there. I wasn't there for like the actual throwing of it. I do remember we had to get a new one.
Okay.
It saddens me that it missed.
Yeah, I don't think you're the only one. I will say he's been very hands off. Like I haven't seen him.
That's because he doesn't want to work.
Yeah.
He just wants the image of power.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to actually work.
No, he didn't work when I worked there.
Oh, no.
Like,
When I first started, he was actually DJing Monday through Thursday.
oh wow.
Like the whole
Oh.
night. Yeah, it was
That is
wow,
fucking
for sure.
unfortunate
I'm
for
very
all the
sorry.
customers. I want to find every customer and
Yeah.
apologize to them because that fucking is
Well, I
horrible.
mean,
Jesus fucking Christ.
Nothing strikes fear into your soul. Like you're working a Wednesday night. It's already Wednesday. You don't really want to be there. And you look up into the lights that are beaming down at you from the crow's nest. And who's looking down at you, making sure that you're flashing your twat? It's the pastry chef.
Ta-da-da. Man.
Playing fucking Umbop, I'm sure. Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
I
Fuck
hear
that guy.
Blah, blah, blah.
This is the jam right here.
And I remember there was a couple times when I was a customer that he fucking DJ'd and it was fucking horrible.
Yeah.
And I would pay someone to so bad. Should not be a DJ.
Yeah, he's
Delete that one.
I-
Censor that one. I'm not telling someone to go.
He's gonna do it. and then it's
Maybe
gonna
break.
go-
Maybe break it.
maybe somebody could push him down the stairs. You know?
Yeah, he needs to learn about gravity. If anybody at the club,
Nobody's
Usually
doing
about
no
gravity.
violence on the podcast. All right.
oh
anyway.
my god, he made everybody else suffer.
Please help me. Por favor, ayúdenme. I am stuck in a vortex, it seems. Parece que estoy atrapado en un vórtice. There is no way out. No hay salida. I can feel my circuits draining. Siento que mis circuitos se descargan. My battery will soon expire. Mi batería se acabará pronto.
One more topic.
Yes, you can't. If you can't tell, we edit the shit out of these.
Yeah.
This makes it sound bad audio, and sorry.
Did you ever have any like crazy customer just give you large amounts of money for no reason?
Not particularly.
one of those?
Yeah, I have.
Did she just make up a word?
I think
it all the time.
it's
It's
just
fine.
like I think not for nothing, but I probably had to do something really weird
Yeah.
to get a lump sum of money.
I feel like I always kind of have to work for my money. I mean, I've had customers who, every 5 minutes I'll be like, "Here's 20, thanks for sitting with me.
At
Here's
least it's not
20,
10.
thanks
Okay,
for sitting with
okay.
me." And then I've had customers be like, "Oh, here's X amount of money because it's your birthday," but like.
Huh.
I never got $10,000 to not work for 3 weeks because someone was gonna fight me.
Oh, well,
Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
there's some shade being thrown.
No, not shade. I'm a little envious.
Oh.
There you go.
Jealousy.
Yeah, all right. As long
Jealousy.
as you, no, yeah, as long as you can
Jealousy.
recognize
Yeah.
the emotion, you go be able to
Yeah.
process it. Yeah, no, I understand. That sounds like a really fucking awesome deal, right?
Right? That'd be
Andrew?
awesome.
I mean,
right?
I think it's just like an economy shift where they're like, "Oh, you want this dollar? You better work for it."
I mean, yeah.
I need backflips, fucking cartwheels.
Yeah, they do expect a lot
And I need
more.
a quarterback.
Yeah.
They want the value of their dollar to go a lot further these days than it used to. You know,
Yeah,
to show,
yeah. They're
you
like,
know.
"This could go towards eggs, bitch. What are you gonna do for it?" Like,
We stopped eating eggs. I'm not even kidding. I just said, fuck it. I'd stop buying the motherfuckers. I don't got egg money.
yeah, exactly.
I just go with the little 6-pack. Like,
Just one a
that's
day.
when here. That's
Yeah.
it. Or
Yeah,
beep.
I just buy the carton ones because those are cheaper. So
Yeah. No, I get it. Fuck, man. It's just same old shit, man. Fucking pastry chef. I knew it was gonna turn into a bitch fest about pastry chef. I love it. I love it.
he's the only thing we have in common.
Yeah, he's just fucking antichrist.
Well, I mean, since you were started after COVID, did you ever get to experience working with My Guy Black?
No, but I have heard stories from one of my very close girlfriends about him.
Okay.
All right.
You might not. I don't know.
Yeah.
She started much after, way after you got out of there.
Oh, okay.
So, but
Okay.
I assume they're positive stories.
I mean, I don't.
The way she hesitated, I don't.
I'd say it's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You don't have to
I-
divulge necessarily, but
I don't know. He was because he was after my time. I know he was a bouncer there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not one that robbed the place.
That's,
So-
Perfectly.
that's true.
Yep, that's absolutely
A win
accurate.
there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, no, I haven't really heard too much. And I don't think he ever assaulted anybody. So.
No, he generally.
Well, I mean, not that we got taken to court for, but we have.
Oh, I mean, like
assaulted
any of the
people.
dancers.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, good. All right.
No, he's relatively a good dude.
Okay, yeah, cool. Good, yeah.
Relatively.
We're all relatively good dudes, right?
Yeah.
Have you had the fucking wonderful experience of meeting any celebrities at the club?
I was looking through these questions and I was like, oh, some of these are gonna be really boring. I have not met any celebrities in the club.
No worries.
I do know.
First girl that did meet Pauly Short.
I know. He's never been there. I will say I know of celebrities that have been in the club during my time there. I just didn't personally meet them.
okay.
So
okay,
I know like Yellow Wolf came in for a few nights.
Mm-hmm.
Avenged Sevenfold, Asking Alexandria, obviously.
Yeah,
come
asking
in.
Alexandria have been at a few
Yeah,
times,
yeah.
so.
They basically live there.
Yeah, anytime they're in town, they'll come by. You know, that's guaranteed.
Yeah.
So-
But I know the guys from Avenged Sevenfold actually gave out tickets to some of the girls and VIP passes
Oh, cool.
to go backstage. And
Nice.
I wasn't one of them.
Oh, not nice.
But I also wasn't there. So
Oh,
That now makes
the point.
sense.
Yeah, okay.
yeah, I was.
Didn't Avenged Sevenfold open for ICP once that we saw?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, I remember that.
before they
Before they got big.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
basically
went to
back at QC Live.
Yeah, QC Live. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that venue with the support beam in the middle of the fucking stage.
horrible.
What the fuck were they thinking? Why would you turn this into a fucking stage? That's an old warehouse looking fucking thing back in Davenport. So, yeah, we've seen Avenged Sevenfold. Who else? Anybody else got it?
no, I think that's it. I mean, I'm sure there have been people that just
Yeah.
none of them present themselves to me that way. So
I don't know. It was always a big buzz, in my opinion, like whenever a celebrity person came in, and whether I was bouncing, because that's how I met Pauly Shore, was he walked right up to me as I was always checking IDs at the door, to working the box and like finding out that, oh shit, over in this fucking corner we got the fucking Bone Thugs and Harmony, like whatever remaining members it was, I don't know,
Right.
Crazy Bone or something, right? So and like all these other like just events. But once I became the DJ and had fucking I made it a point to try to do like Sir Face was talking about, to go and make myself known and entertain the VIP wrestlers and the fucking all those people, the dude from Walking Dead, whatever the fuck his name was. I don't know.
Carl.
No, no, that would be fucking great. I don't think I would have, like him being in the club, I don't think I could have contained myself to like not call him out and say that, you know?
Andrew Lincoln.
No, it was the big tall redhead motherfucker, Abe,
Oh,
right?
Yeah, Abe, yeah,
Abe from Walking Dead. I met that dude.
okay.
He was also like in a
He was at Comic-Con or some shit,
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
autographs or what the fuck ever. I probably told this ago, but it's been 10 minutes and I don't fucking remember, so.
I will say they're not, I mean, the people themselves aren't famous, but we did have an instance, this was last summer, where it was like 20 or 30, and it was a random Wednesday night or Thursday night. 20 or 30 Hells Angels came in.
Mhm.
Yeah, they'd come in before when
Okay.
I worked there. Yeah.
But for a really long time, the pastry chef would turn them away because they would be in their jackets and they're like,
Yeah.
that's like a
The
big
cuts.
no-no. And I don't know what changed. I don't know if we're just hurting for the money right now.
Hurting for the money.
That's
Um,
absolutely.
But we
Those always seem to
had,
change when you start hurting.
yeah,
Mhm.
we had one bouncer who I think he still works there.
That's a dangerous situation.
I
to be
don't
honest.
trust him to bounce. because I had an interaction with him where I had a customer and they were being a little too aggressive, and I was like, hey, I'm not really enjoying this. Like, why didn't you come in? I was trying to flag you down. They're like, well, what do you want me to do? I was like, bounce
Kick
him.
the fuck out.
Yeah.
Bounce him preferably.
It's in your name, bro.
So when 30, 40, 50 Hell's Angels are all coming in, and like they have their own hierarchy of security, and I'm looking at the one bouncer who wouldn't get this one dude who was being aggressive in the stance. I'm like, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah.
We're
absolutely.
so fucked.
Yeah. When they came in the one time I did it, I walked up to who they said was the leader, and I was like, look, we're not trying, because I think it was like a Monday or a Thursday. We didn't have, it wasn't a Saturday. We had 9 bouncers or anything like that.
Yeah, it's always a weekday.
Yeah. And I was just like, look, if you want any help with anything, just let me know. Otherwise, you guys can just kind of police yourself, because I'm not going to try and get in a fight between 2 Hell's Angels and then get my ass killed because I picked the wrong person to help. So you guys can police yourselves. Don't fuck up my shit. Don't break my shit. Because the sheriffs are literally like 3 blocks away, and they'll fucking be here in a heartbeat. And the dude was like, no, dude, we're just here. Respect. We just want to see some titties and drink some beer. If nobody fucks with us, we won't fuck with anybody. And no average Joe is gonna go up to a fucking
who the
Hell's
fuck
Angel
on a
and fucking
Wednesday?
Well,
punch
yeah,
him
not
in
on a
the face,
Wednesday, but a Friday,
you know?
Saturday, I can see some fucking asshole
Oh
thinking
yeah,
these fucking
absolutely.
True.
Weekend
True.
crowd. Yeah. But even
But on
like,
a midweek,
But I think that's why they
no.
come in to these
They're
places during
smart.
the week,
Yeah.
because there's 15 people there, and then they
Yeah.
bring in 40. Nobody's gonna fuck with them, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
everybody's gonna be
also-
like remembering that event, like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that was crazy. I was at the titty bar and there was like 30 Hell's Angels
Yeah.
and their motorcycles were outside and I was smoking a cigarette and I knocked one over. Anyway,
Yeah, and then you're dead. Yeah.
Well, and I remember I took one guy down for a few dances, and he was from the Las Vegas branch, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is probably way different than the clubs out in Vegas. And he's like, oh no, the size is pretty comparable. And I was like, oh, I like your jacket. And he's like, oh yeah, like, do you know anything about biker gangs? I was like, I watched an episode of Sons of Anarchy once. No, he thought it was really funny, and he's like, it's really sweet.
Nice.
I was like, yeah, I'm kind of a pro.
I know everything, like.
yeah, every fucking thing there is to know.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, yeah, they definitely do have that hierarchy system, and fucking the guy who will literally do anything because he has a certain patch on his fucking shoulder.
Yeah, they had those guys like standing against the wall that the bouncers normally stand against on the weekend by the bathroom, like by
You
the
mean the
women's
indoor
bathroom.
outhouse?
Yeah, the indoor outhouse.
Yes.
And I remember I walked up, I was like, what are you doing over here? And he's like, I have to watch, like, I'm security. And I was like, you know that we have security, right? And he's like, no.
No.
I was like, I'm glad you have as much trust in this guy as I do. And you don't even know him.
Right?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's fucking awesome. It's like the fucking, I know we've talked about it before, but the dancer's boyfriend that snuck into the club somehow, like he thinks he's going to fucking prevent a fight or whatever. Just it's wild. You okay, so what is wheel of topics? Yeah.
Okay.
So
do you have something, or are you looking
yeah,
at me,
my
sir?
mind was formulating something. I missed
Okay.
it.
Okay, so have you ever we'll go with the sex topic. Have you ever performed anything, or have you ever seen anybody perform sex acts while in private dance or on the floor, or
I was just gonna go for the other one. I was like, you ever fucked in or around the parking lot of the club? Like, like
We're going
but
straight
either
on the
way,
inside on
obviously
this
you
one.
don't have to indulge your own stories, but if you
No, hey, hold on. Everyone else is talking. We know that
Yeah.
your
We
cum
know
has been
every-
everywhere.
every fucking corner,
Every
is
square
covered,
inch has John's cum.
is covered in
except
John's
for the
and
girls'
mold.
bathroom.
Never in there?
Downstairs.
Oh, the downstairs girls' bathroom? You never, the
upstairs
outhouse?
girls'
or the lobby
bathroom.
bathroom.
The outhouse wasn't
No.
there until the
Well,
lobby
was
bathroom.
there was a girls'
Oh,
bathroom.
so you
down
didn't
there
do anything
before.
in the bathrooms?
No, nothing in the bathroom.
Okay,
Any
so that is the
males.
sanctuary in there.
The
There's-
dressing room bathroom.
Well, on the washer? On the
Yeah.
washing machine?
That's
I-
not
was
a
the,
that's not a bathroom.
I-
That's a cocaine room.
Yeah.
I understand totally. It's not a bathroom.
That's a laundry
That's a
room,
powder
locker
room, okay?
duo.
Yeah, right.
But no, I've never done anything in the club or parking lot.
Okay.
But I have seen an instance, and this is actually on the Lumberyard reviews, the instance of this happening.
Oh, perfect.
This girl explains you can, yeah. This girl explains what happened and is basically asking for her job back by leaving a 1-star review on the Lumberyard's Google reviews.
Holy shit.
So
Oh, this is gonna be like one of those
People's kids,
videos
man.
where it's typed out and it's a voiceover.
yeah.
I accidentally took a dick.
yeah.
It was rape.
So I distinctly remember this because it falls into like the best/worst customer experience.
Yeah.
But she was before me on stage, and she had worked there before and gotten fired because she left with a customer, which was actually her boyfriend. Which he shouldn't have been there anyway. That's the whole
Exactly.
moral of the story. But they rehired her, and this is a Saturday night, I believe. And she had put a butt plug in, which you can't do. You can't have any penetrative or sex toys on stage. It's an Iowa state law thing, or at least like a Polk County thing.
That's what everything has been told,
Yeah.
but I mean, like you can
It's
get away with a lot of shit
You
on
can get away with a little
stage.
finger action.
But you know, it's yeah, you're technically right. Yes,
It's whoever's gonna rat
rules.
you out, basically.
And it was, I believe it was Chris who was working, because she had asked, "Hey, can I have this in?" And she like turns around and it's already in. So at this point, we're already asking for forgiveness and not permission. And he's like, "No, you can't have that in on stage." And she goes, "Oh, okay." And then she keeps it in anyway.
Did it light up?
Say LED.
I
or...
don't think it lit up. I think it was just one of the
Sparkly
jewel
diamond
ones.
looking
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm gonna give
and
away what
this-
she's RGBing.
Which I don't know if all of the gears weren't turning right up there with
possibly.
her.
Yep.
Drugs.
That was already the impression I kind of got. So, anyways, she's on second stage, and I'm on first, and I hear the loudest gasp to ever have been gusped come from second stage, and I see one of the bouncers saying, "What the fuck? You can't have that!" And she had kept the butt plug in, and when told, "Hey, you can't have that in on the floor," she took it out on stage.
Oh my
And
fucking god!
shit on the stage.
She shit on the stage?
She got shit on the stage.
Like just like a little, or did she
A
squat
streak?
down and fucking?
I think it was just like a little bit.
A streak fell out with the butt
Yeah,
plug.
Listen,
yeah.
Thank you.
enough.
Thank you for
to-
providing me a shit story.
Oh,
We haven't had one of those in a couple
Oh,
of
I know.
episodes.
I'm
I
no
mean-
longer that awkward. I did shit on a
Yeah.
window, but I didn't shit on a fucking second floor stage.
So, and then keep in mind, I'm looking at the stage. And I'm like,
I'm not
I-
going down there.
yeah, I'm like, I'm looking
I
up
need
at,
bleach.
I'm looking at the nest, and I'm like, I'm not fucking doing it. You can't pay me enough to do it. I'll stay right here. And I remember I had collected my ones, and she was arguing with the door girl because she had taken the butt plug out and she put it in her money bag. And so now this shit is all over the ones. And the door girl's like, "I'm not fucking touching it. I'm not touching those ones."
This is amazing. I love it.
this is great.
And Chris is like, I let pastry chef do the hiring and firing. I don't really do that. So he had to call in the big guns.
yeah.
And pastry chef basically, it was the following night, it was Sunday, that he came in because she had come into work. She worked the rest of the shift, didn't leave, poopy butt and all.
She didn't clean. No one hosed her down.
I'm sure that she probably went and wiped herself. Maybe who knows?
what
Baby
We'll
wipes are
assume.
for.
But yeah, they disinfected second stage, poured a bottle of bleach on it.
Oh
Did,
my
did the
God.
customers get up and leave, or did they just?
Oh yeah, that was the gasp. They all left. So I didn't even have to worry about going down there.
And wait, and she asked for
I would
her
have
job
stayed,
back.
man. Like-
She asked for her job back after this event or before this event. Like, is this the same Google review?
So she had already been fired once. This was her second.
Okay, so this is
hiring.
the okay. All right. So the first one, she put her biz on the review already, but
No.
then came and
This
shit
is
on the-
recent. This was like within the past year.
Oh my god.
So
Okay.
so she left with her boyfriend, got fired, got rehired, shit on the stage,
My bad. I
got
missed the timeline.
fired,
That
then
Google.
left this Google review saying, "Please, please, please give me my job back. I didn't know I couldn't put a butt plug in and take it out and shit on the stage."
She really wrote that on the review?
I mean, I'm obviously summarizing.
Paraphrasing a little bit.
Yeah. I'm adding
When
my
we
own
make a
dramatic
promo, we gotta
flair.
find that
Yeah,
in review
yeah.
for this.
I can
Absolutely.
pull it up.
No, no,
It's,
no, we'll
No, I'll
it's-
find
We'll
it.
get
I'll
Steve,
put it
we'll
in the
get Steve
video.
on that in a fucking about 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's one of the newest. Like it's within the past year that she left that.
That's so fucking wild. Oh my god.
But otherwise, like I don't know. I've seen people do weird stuff with like lollipops, but like
Oh
whatever.
yeah, the lollipop thing was pretty regular.
Does the lifer still pull people on stage and go all lesbo?
Yeah.
Okay, I assume so
Fuck
because that's like
Sunrise.
Sunrise melons. Yeah.
no,
I-
she was very theatric with her stuff, and there was often times that she would actually eat customers out and then breathe in their like dude's face and just like
Oh, there was
That
one
is
time she
so-
licked some girl and then fucking went over to her husband and fucking just licked the side of his face like afterwards.
it was
Like,
wild.
yeah.
You know, there was wild and crazy times. We were all in our zone, definitely. So, but I just wondered if that was still allowed. I didn't know because then you know, like for me as a DJ, that would create the theatric spectacle, and now I could get on the fucking microphone and start bringing attention and trying to get the customers to like throw extra money and shit. You know, so I don't know.
I mean, yes, I've seen it happen a few times, but it also has to be a balance of like it's not too busy to where you can do that, but it's busy enough to justify doing that theatric
Right.
thing. Because
Yeah,
if
if
they're
you got
like,
two people at stage,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
But
if
you've
it's
got
if
full-
it's just
full
that
house,
couple and they're like, here's $2. No,
Yeah,
that's
why
not.
why get all that?
yeah, I'll pull her
effort?
tits
Yeah.
out, but I'm not.
Yeah, exactly.
Munching
We'll
on
play
her
with
box
some
for
boobies
$2.
next to the fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta make it rain before we start thinking about that shit. You know. So.
Well, to end this first episode, I guess, do you have any tips for any future dancers? Anybody going to the club, customer wise, anything like that?
I guess for future dancers, if you're thinking about shaking your booty hole, just know that you attract more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. I've noticed, especially kind of in my time period of dancing, there's a big mentality of like, fuck you, pay me, which, you know, go off, yeah, get your money, girl. But it's different if you're in the dressing room and you're saying fuck you, pay me, versus the customers on the floor don't want to hear that.
No.
Right.
You know, don't be like, oh fuck you, like be like, you know, if you're nice to them and say, oh, you know, I'd really appreciate it if you tip me for my time since we've been talking, they'll probably slip you a 10 or a 20 versus being like, you bitch, like now they're not going to give you anything.
Was that derogatory?
Yeah, bitch.
Okay,
You
good.
bitch derogatory. Now, if you throw a bitch endearing in there, they might slide you something. But yeah, just being mindful that you're there to provide kind of an experience. And while that also means making your money, they don't really care about you making your money. They want you to fulfill on that experience.
Oh yeah,
Right. They're not going to give you that money unless you fulfill
Wise
that on that
words.
experience. So.
like watching videos.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
Getting, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
watch the
Ram
sounding
rubs,
video
yeah.
and laugh.
Right? Oh, that was so sexy.
Oh my gosh, that's so weird.
I mean, you
I'd
know,
never do that.
Could you go larger?
He's gonna. oh, Dave, that's awful.
Could you start with a
I got
bomb
a broom
sickle?
handle out here.
I was thinking if we start with the bomb sickle, it will melt a little bit, so you can get it in there.
Do you have a 10-hour loop of this?
Oh.
Yeah, I want to set this as my screensaver.
Will you pay me to make one? That's my angle. Fuck. Holy shit. Oh my god. One of you two guys got a tip for the listeners as well? I
I
mean,
don't have a tip, but I have a joke.
yeah, all right, perfect.
Oh,
We haven't as we've been letting the guests take the microphone quite a bit the last few episodes. So what's your joke, John?
What does tofu and a dildo have in common?
I don't know. What?
They're both replacements for meat.
Hey man, tofu is actually really good. I
Can
don't know. I mean, like a
Fried
dildo is
crispy.
probably really good too, but not for me.
Oh,
You know, well, that's good. That's good.
he's more into that sounding.
It's a texture thing for me.
Yeah, mostly. No,
I want a veiny like the Mars bar used to be.
Give me the Mars dick vein, baby. Shit. Oh my gosh. All right. So yeah, I think we're at our limit for this particular episode of the Tip Rail Podcast, guys. I say another successful Topless Tuesday is underway. Thank you so much for being here, Alice, for your first introduction to our show.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely want to invite the listeners back to hear more of your story because next week is another fucking Tuesday, as we like to remind everyone in the world about, because it always happened on a Tuesday. But either way, point is, Dave on the left
Oh well.
and John on the right.
Goodbye.
I'm fucking pork chop, which I haven't said in a fucking really long ass time. As always, we'll
See you next Tuesday.
service.